Hey, what is up? Today I'm going to be doing a tutorial on creating one of these. What is this, you ask? It is, in fact, an automated wither killing machine. So let me go ahead and fire this one up so you can see what it looks like when it's running. There we go. The withers just fall right down here. Then they get murdered. All their items fall right on through, end up in this chest here. And we have automated wither killing. So, let's start by going over how this works. I have 6 autonomous activators here that are getting fed in wither skeleton skulls and soul sand from this chest. Now, I use transfer pipes here. You can use the Ender IO item conduits, but I use the transfer pipes. I'm going to show you why when I'm setting it up. I think this is probably the best setup for what we're doing. And then, once they get spawned, all the way down at the bottom, we have a mob grinder. So this is the mob grinder from Draconic Evolution. Works pretty well for what we're trying to accomplish. So let's go ahead and build one from scratch. Got everything we need right down here in this chest. There are 6 autonomous activators, 2 item filters, we'll get to those, a mob grinder, some materials, a chest, some energy conduit. You probably don't need the 5,000 RF a tick energy conduit. You can probably get away with the lower level ones. Some transfer pipes, some transfer nodes, reinforced obsidian, dark iron bars, and finally a vacuum hopper. So what I do is I actually put the dark iron bars at the bottom, and that allows items to fall through down to the vacuum hopper. The thing is, if the vacuum hopper's sitting right up top, the wither's going to blow it up. So this actually gives us a little bit of space to prevent the vacuum hopper from getting blown up. So I believe we're 4 high here, so we'll start building ours right on over here. So 1, 2, 4. All right, and then we're going to lay out our dark iron bars in a 5x5 grid. You know, we can actually go smaller if you're a little limited on resources. We can go 3x3. Yes, they always look a little silly when you're laying them out because they don't expand fully until you wrap them. All right, so there we go. Now we have our 3x3. Then we're using reinforced obsidian. So let's see if we can pull up the recipe for that. That takes dark steel, dark iron bars, and obsidian. This is completely wither-proof. So the difference between the bars and the reinforced obsidian is the wither can actually destroy the bars, but not with his initial explosion. That said, you probably don't have to worry about it. The mob grinder kills them faster than they can spawn. Like, faster than they can do damage, I guess I should say. Alright, so now we have our tunnel. And once again, if you're a little low on resources, you don't have to do a block every single level. You can actually checkerboard pattern it up. But this makes it look a little nicer. Now we're going to go up 16 blocks total. So we've laid down 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and 16. All right, so now we have our tower. The reason for the 16 blocks, it prevents any chance of the wither from exploding and destroying your setup up here. So we'll come all the way down to the bottom, poke a hole right here, and we're going to put in our mob grinder. So this is the Draconic Evolution mob grinder. A little costly to make, but you don't actually have to kill a wither before you make it. So that's pretty good. All right, and then we are going to start laying out our autonomous activators. 1, 2, 3. I'm going to do something a little different here. On these 2, I'm actually going to put a piece of cobble in front of them. Now, the reason for that is the autonomous activators tend to place blocks too high at a time. So I'm going to set all these to aim high, which means this first one here will place a block right in front of it and then place a block on top of that. Whereas here, it can't place on the cobble, it's going to place right above it. The wither spawns right in the middle and drops down, so it doesn't actually have a problem for us. And we're going to change the back side to input for all of these. All right, and I'm going to just use a creative capacitor. Whatever your power source is, if you're using like a big reactor or something, you can just, pipe that into here through a tesseract or whatever works easiest for you. Oh, we got a shift. There we go. And then we'll wire this up. There we go. That's 1. That's 2. All right. All right, so now we have those 3 up top. We're going to set all of these to aim high as well. And we'll go around back. We're going to set the back side of each of these to be our inputs. Okay, so now that's in place. Next step is our chest. So we'll slap down a chest here. And we're going to put a transfer node on both the bottom and top of the chest. We also have these item filters. And so the way those work is if you right-click on them, you can choose what item you want to go through the filter. So in this case, soul sand. And we're going to place that in the bottom one. And then we'll grab our other one. And that already has wither skeleton skulls in it. And we'll place that in the top one. So now that prevents the soul sand from getting to the top autonomous activators and the wither skeleton skulls from getting to the bottom and vice versa. And then just to get that spread out entirely, we want it piped to each of the 3. So we do that. Now, the reason that I prefer the transfer pipes over the Ender IO conduits, there's a round robin upgrade that you can get for transfer pipes, and what that actually does is it allows it to pump items into each autonomous activator in a round robin fashion. So it's going to go the first, the second, the third. It stops it from building up all of your supplies in the first one. So we put one of those in each of these, and that'll actually spread out everything. So this looks ready, but we still need to come down here and put power into our mob grinder. So with that, let's send it back to daylight. And I think we should be good to go. Famous last words, right? Let's take a look. So we'll just drop in those. Starts placing everything. And there we go. We have a wither. It's going to come down. And watch, you'll see it blow up some of the cobble here. No, it didn't actually blow up the cobble that time. Okay, yeah. So we're rolling now. And so now that we have all these items falling down, we obviously want to do something with them. If we plop down a chest and stick a vacuum hopper on top of it, we'll go into the interface for that. We need to turn off NEI. No, we need to turn off not enough items. Let's see. Does not want to let me turn it off. All right. So we have this interface here. There we go. For the hopper. And we're going to set the output on the bottom for that. And so there we go. All of our items are going to get fed in. Come back up. And you can see that everything has, a fairly equal amount of resources in it. It prevents all the resources from getting bottled up in one, like I was saying. So 4 there, 5 there. And if we add more soul sand to this, we should have a bunch more wither spawning. Yeah, so there you go. That is a 100% automated wither spawner and grinder. So, I mean, this is just going to chew through withers. You'll have hundreds of nether stars in no time. Pretty simple setup. A little intensive on the dark iron. The dark steel is a fairly costly recipe. But, you know, once you get to this point that you want to automate withers, you should have the resources you need to do so. So, let me switch over to peaceful mode and stop those from spawning for a second. So once again, if you want to see more tutorials like this, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Make sure to like the video. And thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next time.